Welcome back to Cash Paducah 2 Gringotts Steakhouse.
It's just a quest for blooming onions at this point.
Yeah, that's a specific reference to Kadikarus's Crash Bandicoot videos. As big of a fan of Crash as I am nothing compared to him.
Good show, Crash. The Komodo brothers obviously lacked your mettle. But now's not the time to get cocky. There are still many crystals to obtain. Remember, the world is counting on you.
And welcome to the Warp Room, which is... The World 3 Warp Room is sewer-themed for some reason.
Can we call it the second sewer level?
Okay, sure.
Okay, so this is technically the third sewer level then. No, I'm wrong.
And this is a glitch exclusive to the Sane Trilogy. You can kind of go over the invisible wall here and trigger the same animation.
But you can't go over far enough to skip the bear.
No. And, yeah, basically this is, again, it's the hard mode version of the previous bear level. There will be another bear level with a different gimmick. And there we go, the first instance of the lab assistants in this game. I remember for some reason I called them endgame enemies in the Crash 1 LP. I don't know why I said that. Maybe it was just because in Crash 1 that was the case. But lab assistants show up all throughout the various games. And at different points.
So these ones are just out here doing reps.
Yeah. They're working on Arm Day with massive blocks of ice, it looks like. When you're going for the all crates gem, your worst enemy is going to be that ice, because it's extremely slippery. Like, even when compared to the ice when you're going on foot, there's no comparison.
I will give them that it has a very nice reflection effect in it.
Yeah. And we could go through the exit. However, as we passed over, you may have noticed that there were a bunch of ice floats over here.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if we jump on these and go into the one in the center?
Oh! Okay. So
there are two secret levels. This is not the one that unlocks here. I don't know why I thought that, but this is the one that unlocks the alternate route to Air Crash.
Aha!
There is another secret level that unlocks a separate bear level. But anyway, let's go with Coco into the secret exit to Air Crash. So the first thing I'd like to point out is these extra lives that are floating here. It is technically possible to get those, but again, because of the differences in the physics, it's very hard to do in the original, and it is almost impossible to do on the Sane Trilogy. Not quite impossible, but almost. If somehow I am able to get that on camera, I will post it at the end of this video. I doubt it, but I'll see if I could do it. Because it is one of the hardest things to do in this game, and it's not meant to be that way.
All right, I'm counting on you then.
We'll see. Yeah, it depends. I mean, I'd like to if I could, but we'll have to see. Anyway, here's where we were last time. This is, there's that secret exit over there. That's the one to Snow go. And I did check in between recordings. This is called a jet board. There's actually a, there's a commercial for Crash 2 that aired in 1997, where Crash is going through whatever the pre-9/11 version of the TSA was. He has to put all the metal and stuff inside, and then the punchline is that the one thing he forgot to put in was his jet board. We're actually going to ignore all this stuff here for now, because we have to go into this platform that embroidered with a skull.
Oh, good.
This is known as a death route. It is basically the replacement for the one life restriction that clear gems used to have. These are harder secret routes that open up. You have to reach them in one life. Although if you die inside, the platform is still there. It's just you can't die on the way to the platform.
Gotcha.
So there is the slightest bit of mercy. Although these are some of the hardest areas in the game. This one's not especially hard compared to the others. I just wasn't paying attention. Yeah, you know the drill by this point.
Death Warp!
Anyway, now we're actually going to go onto that bonus platform that we ignored. Because if we had gone there before, it wouldn't have counted.
Aha, okay.
Yeah, you keep the gem, but you don't keep any of the boxes when you die.
So there's a definite sequence involved in routing this.
Yes. I took a lot of inspiration for the route that I chose for this LP from speedrunning. Although there are, of course, a couple things you could do in the original that you can't do in the Sane Trilogy and vice versa. But basically my goal was to make a route that involved the least amount of backtracking and wasted time.
Keep it efficient and tidy.
Yeah.
The speedruns are usually good for that, yeah.
That box is the bane of many players, especially in the PlayStation version. And you can kind of see there's an extra life in the middle.
Very gingerly pick that up.
Yeah. And now you actually don't want to get on the jetboard yet, because there are some extra boxes. You will not be able to get those as soon as you hop on the jetboard. And I would have been able to make this next jump if I was playing on the original version. And here's a weird Sane Trilogy exclusive glitch. For some reason, there's no hurt box on the top of the mines. And I don't think that's how it worked in the original. I'll have to go back and check. But I'm pretty sure that was something introduced in the Sane Trilogy.
That seems like it might be a difficulty tweak, to me at least, but that's, yeah, if that's the case, that's probably what they did. I have to admit, these are challenging levels, and they feel a little bit meatier than the first game.
Yeah, I mean, they don't seem as challenging to me, but I think that's because I've played this game for so long that, you know, I've basically memorized these levels, or come close to it anyway. So I will admit my opinion is a bit skewed.
First time playing through this, how long do you think it took you to finish it?
Probably longer than most, because I was 7 and not very good at games yet.
Fair.
I wasn't keeping track of my hours, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, it lasted you. It was the video game that lasts you purchase.
Yeah, and also, as I've told this story before, but both my PlayStation and the copy that I had were damaged, and my parents never replaced it because they saw it as parental control. You couldn't play more than 15 minutes without it crashing. So, yeah, that affected it as well. It's part of the reason why I was never able to beat the original Crash without passwords as a kid. Because of that save system. And it's just the intentionally broken or intentionally unrepaired PlayStation was a big factor in that. I was never really able to save because I couldn't get through quickly enough without it crashing.
So you didn't have Crash Bandicoot, you had blue screen Bandicoot.
Oh no, I had Crash Bandicoot, just not the way you were thinking.
Just, yeah. The ironic Crash Bandicoot, not the unironic one.
Anyway, this part is actually very difficult to speed through, especially on the Sane Trilogy. You basically need to get to that second checkpoint with at least one mask. Because, as we'll elaborate on later, the game expects you to go through this section taking out the man-eating piranha plants. So you basically just have to tank it if you're speedrunning this for the other clear gem. Oh no, sorry, not clear gem, it's the yellow gem.
And then we death abuse.
Yeah, it was kind of difficult to see there, but that was the didgeridoo from the other Nitro death on the original. There are, unfortunately, a couple of deaths that didn't make the cut. I'm very disappointed in those, but we'll get to those. Those are much later on in the game. And speaking of death, if you get sucked into that whirlpool, that is a one-hit kill. Doesn't matter how many masks you have. You die instantly.
Now, I mean, you do have 66 lives, right?
Yes. But, I mean, you also have no room for error when it comes to navigating those whirlpools.
Very, very Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, it's at this point that, like, this is less of a Donkey Kong Country knockoff than the first was. It's definitely, as of Crash 2, the game really gained its own identity as its own spin on the 2D action game, but in 3D. Yeah, this is what the game expects you to do during this section, especially because there are some crates over here. Which, again, unless you're using very specific glitches, you won't be able to get over there with just the jet board. Yeah, it's this guy here. You want to go over to either the far left or the far right edge of the screen, and then boost at a particular angle.
Ta-da!
Yeah, we're actually going to be making a fair amount of progress in this level, or in this video, compared to some of the previous ones. There's a lot of stuff to do.
Crash doing his swallow stuffs trick.
It's the advantages of being your own gastroenterologist.
Crash, thank goodness! I hacked into Cortex's computer and found detailed schematics for an improved Cortex Vortex and a suspicious-looking space station. I'm not sure, but Cortex might be trying to...
I don't know. Cortex seems like a nice enough guy. I'm convinced. I think that he has turned his life around, and, you know, he's ready to make a change.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't discount the evil laughter here.
Well, I mean, some habits of his are, you know, he's got a long way to go to improve those. But, you know, at the same time, you know, you gotta... Have you laughed the same way your whole life? You know, even after you stop becoming a mad scientist?
Well, I mean, I haven't given up the mad science yet, so I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure the dude is evil.
Well, I mean, that's why you go to Mad Scientists Anonymous and do the 12-step program.
Yeah, but half those steps are booby-trapped anyway.
Yeah, the 12-step program is navigating which steps are actually good for you.
Okay, yeah.
That's part of the training.
Yeah.
Anyway, while we were doing our little skit there, we ignored that there's another lab-assisted enemy who has a welding torch. And this is one of the few times the game blatantly cheats. The electric eel is always electrocuting. You have no room, so you basically have to stay on the platforms.
The box bouncing in there is, for lack of a better word, devious.
Oops, I mistimed my jump there.
So you do get some iframes off of that. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So this, as an alternate path, this whole section is actually unnecessary, since we can just death warp out of here anyway. Do not take that path. That's a trick. You gotta go back and electrocute yourself. And you will see why, because there were no boxes on that path, but there are plenty of boxes that you have to backtrack for if you take that path.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they might have changed that guy's design a bit to make him look less like the typical lab assistant, but it's again a running gag. The lab assistants rarely do anything that actually involves science.
They're really more like hired goons that are lab assistant themed.
Yeah, they are lab assistants in the same way that that Mike Ehrmantraut does employment screening. Yeah, for those who are unaware, I'm almost done with Breaking Bad. I have a couple episodes left to go, and I was very disappointed when spoiler things happened to Mike. He's such a good character.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Breaking Bad yet, spoiler happens to spoiler and spoiler spoiler science bitch.
Just shut the fuck up and let me lament in peace. So this is one of the other gimmicks with the scrubbers. We already dealt with the fans, and now you have that super high-speed fan, and you knock it into the fan to pick off the blades one by one. You can actually run through those, including with all three if you wanted, but the timing is basically frame perfect. And this is where that other path takes you if you fall for the game's trap when getting the the extra gem.
Gotcha.
And this is where I have a temporary brain fart, because I cannot remember which path the crystal is actually on, and which takes you to the exit.
I mean, the landmarks are a little bit bad here.
Well, I mean, it's a sewer level. You're intended to get lost.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm realizing I went to the wrong path. The reach, the hitbox on that flame it's bigger than it looks. So you always want to take a couple steps back. You'll have plenty of time to go in and spin away the lab assistant before he starts flaming again. And there we go. So we didn't have bonus content last time, but now we have it here, and it's just a couple of deaths, including something I've never seen before that is only in the Sane Trilogy. I confirmed that with the Crash Bandicoot speedrunning Discord. I showed them the thing you will see at the very end, and it greatly amused them. Also, Coco, please stop trying to drown yourself.
I can't take it anymore!
At the very least, close your eyes.
You don't know what's in that water.
She probably does. Anyway, here are the deaths for the polar bear, whose name is Polar, by the way.
Creative.
I'm gonna name my son Human.
I do like how the bear is in every one of them.
Yep. Yeah, even worse, the polar bear remembers every time you've died.
Really?
No, that's just my canon.
Oh.
Anyway, so here's the exclusive glitch that only happens in the Sane Trilogy. I've not been able to replicate it.
Wait.
So I have a theory about what happened there, because there were two different deaths that were triggered. First, there was the one about trampling over the obstacle, and then as Crash was sent tumbling, he went right into a TNT box, and he died a second time.
Oh, so one animation canceled the other animation, or left one incomplete, or something like that.
Yes.
You merged them.
Yes. Yeah, this is, after all, remember that the subtitle for this game is Bandicoots Die Twice. Anyway, so while we're here, this was a video I was going to show you last time, but I'll show it to you now. This is yet another meme that required the context of Crash 2. It is part of a series of videos that have variations on the title, My Drunk Friend Said This to Me at 4 a.m.
Oh, no. And
it is the titular drunk friend playing Crash Bandicoot 2, or actually all three of the Crash games at various points in the videos, but he provides his own sound effects, let's just say that. So here you go. He does a pretty good Wumpus Fruit sound effect, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's got it just about down.
Yeah, there's a whole series of these where the best ones are probably when he's doing voice acting for the cutscenes.
Oh no. This is someone whose roommate asked him to turn the sound off so he could go to sleep, and now he's sitting in the living room doing this.
Yeah, and this is at 4 a.m. too.
For being drunk, he's not too bad at it.
Yeah, these became popular around early 2018, like within a couple of months of the PlayStation 4 version of the Sane Trilogy coming out.
Oh my god.
I have to imagine that was particularly fortuitous timing for one Gimli, son of Gloin, who uploaded all of these videos.
Well, here's to you, internet mouth sound effect maker.
Anyway, yeah, there we go. See you guys next time where we will finish up Warp Room 3.
Next time.